In the small village of Domremy, nestled in the heart of rural France, a young peasant girl named Joan experienced a life-altering event that would change the course of history. Welcome to Cryptic Mystic Vault, where we unravel the secrets of ancient mysteries. At the tender age of 13, Joan began to hear divine voices from St. Michael, St. Margaret, and St. Catherine. These celestial beings entrusted Joan with a monumental mission. A mission that seemed impossible for someone of her humble origins. She was to save France from English domination and ensure the rightful coronation of Charles VII. This divine directive was clear. Joan was to see Charles VII crowned as the King of France. Joan's world, steeped in piety and rural simplicity, was shaken to its core by these heavenly messages. The voices were insistent, their message clear and unwavering. She, a simple girl untouched by war and politics, was chosen by God to lead France to victory against overwhelming odds. This divine calling instilled in Joan an unshakable faith and determination that would guide her through the trials ahead. The fate of France, a nation in turmoil, rested on her young shoulders. Joan's early life in Domremy had been humble but content, filled with the simple joys of rural life. She tended to sheep, her days filled with the rhythms of nature and her unwavering faith. Yet the 100 Years' War cast a long, dark shadow over her idyllic existence, threatening everything she held dear. France, ravaged by conflict and divided by internal strife, seemed on the brink of collapse, its future uncertain. Driven by her divine mandate, Joan knew she could no longer remain in Domremy. She had to act. She had to convince the Dauphin, Charles VII, of her mission and the urgency of her divine calling. Joan needed to persuade him to let her lead the French army into battle, a daunting task for anyone, let alone a young girl. Joan's path was fraught with danger, filled with perilous challenges and obstacles, but her faith fueled her resolve, giving her the strength to face whatever lay ahead. Joan's journey to Charles VII was fraught with peril. France was a battleground. English soldiers and their Burgundian allies roamed the countryside, yet Joan remained undeterred. Her faith was her shield, her conviction was her sword. After a perilous journey, she finally stood before the uncrowned king. Charles, skeptical of this peasant girl claiming divine guidance, tested Joan's resolve. He disguised himself, blending into the court, hoping to unmask her as an impostor. But Joan, guided by her visions, saw through the charade. She approached Charles with unwavering certainty, recognizing him as the true king. Her convictions startled him. Joan's unwavering belief and her detailed descriptions of her visions convinced Charles of her divine mandate. He saw in her a beacon of hope, a symbol of divine favor that could unite his fractured kingdom. Charles granted Joan command of the French army. Clad in shining armor, Joan became a beacon of hope for the demoralized French troops. Joan's charisma and tactical acumen revitalized the French forces. The siege of Orléans was a turning point in the 100 Years' War, a conflict that had already spanned decades and devastated much of France. This strategic city, situated on the Loire River, held immense importance for both the French and the English, serving as a key to controlling the heart of France. For the English, capturing Orléans would pave the way for a complete conquest of France, solidifying their dominance in the region. For the French, its loss would be a devastating blow to their morale and their ability to resist the English advance, potentially leading to the collapse of their resistance. Joan, with her unwavering faith and strategic brilliance, rallied the French troops at Orléans, instilling in them a renewed sense of hope and determination. She understood the importance of this battle, recognizing that the fate of the nation hung in the balance. It was not just about land or power, it was about the very identity and future of France. It was about the soul of France, a soul that Joan was determined to protect and preserve. Joan led the charge, her standard bearing the image of God, a constant reminder of her divine mission and the higher purpose she served. She fought with the fury of a righteous warrior, inspiring her men to feats of extraordinary bravery and resilience. The English, initially dismissive of this young woman leading the French forces, soon learned to fear Joan's tactical genius and unyielding spirit. The siege, which had dragged on for months, was broken in a matter of days, a testament to Joan's leadership and the revitalized French forces. Joan's victory at Orléans was nothing short of miraculous, a beacon of hope in a time of despair. The victory at Orléans sent shockwaves throughout France and England, altering the course of the war. Joan, the peasant girl who dared to defy the odds, became a national heroine forever etched in the annals of history. The 100 Years' War was not just a conflict between England and France. It was a prolonged and devastating series of battles that spanned over a century, deeply affecting the lives of countless people. It was a complex web of alliances and betrayals, with powerful factions within France itself vying for power and influence. These internal struggles often proved to be as significant as the battles fought against the English. The Duchy of Burgundy, a wealthy and influential territory in eastern France, played a pivotal role in this intricate game of thrones. Its strategic position and economic power made it a key player in the conflict. At the outset of the war, Burgundy had sided with the French crown, pledging loyalty and support to the cause of France. However, political maneuvering, territorial ambitions and shifting alliances led Burgundy down a treacherous path. The landscape of loyalty was ever-changing, and Burgundy found itself at the center of this turmoil. The Duke of Burgundy, Philip the Good, driven by a desire to expand his own power and influence, saw an opportunity in the chaos of war. His ambitions knew no bounds, and he was willing to take great risks to achieve his goals. He forged an alliance with the English, betraying his French brethren for the promise of territorial gains and political dominance. This decision would alter the course of the war dramatically. This alliance proved to be a turning point in the war, tipping the scales in favor of the English and their Burgundian allies. The combined forces posed a significant threat to the already beleaguered French. The French, already weakened by internal divisions and military setbacks, now faced a formidable foe within their own borders. The presence of Burgundian forces fighting alongside the English was a devastating blow. The betrayal of Burgundy cut deep, a wound that would continue to bleed long after the last battle had been fought. The repercussions of this treachery would echo through the annals of history, leaving a legacy of mistrust and division. Following her stunning victory at Orléans, Joan of Arc continued to lead the French forces, her reputation as a divinely guided warrior growing with each success. However, her string of victories was not to last. The treacherous hand of fate, manipulated by political machinations, awaited Joan. Her capture was not a result of her defeat on the battlefield, but rather a calculated act of betrayal by those she considered her countrymen. In 1430, during the siege of Compiègne, Joan found herself leading a small force against the Burgundians, who were now allied with the English. Outnumbered and outmaneuvered, Joan's troops were forced to retreat. As Joan fought bravely to protect her soldiers during the retreat, she was pulled from her horse and captured by Burgundian troops. The capture of Joan of Arc sent shockwaves through France. The Maid of Orléans, the symbol of French resistance, was now a prisoner of war. But this was no ordinary capture. It was a calculated act of betrayal, orchestrated by Philip the Good, the Duke of Burgundy. Joan's capture was a devastating blow to French morale. Gap 2S. Imagine a world where Joan of Arc was never betrayed by Burgundy. Picture her standing tall, her unwavering faith and strategic brilliance continuing to guide French forces. Her presence on the battlefield would have solidified French unity much earlier, potentially altering the course of the 100 Years' War. Gap 2S. With Joan leading the charge, France might have emerged as a dominant European power far sooner. The ripple effects of this early unity could have been profound, influencing the political landscape significantly. The Renaissance, a period of immense cultural and scientific advancements, might have been shaped by a France emboldened by Joan's leadership, Gap 2S, but the impact wouldn't stop there. Joan's legacy as a symbol of courage and resilience could have inspired earlier movements for women's rights and leadership roles, changing the fabric of society in ways we can only imagine. Her story, untainted by betrayal, would stand as an even more powerful testament to the strength of the human spirit. Gap 2S. This alternate history, though a mere speculation, reminds us of Joan's incredible influence. Her true legacy, despite the betrayal, continues to inspire and empower, proving that the spirit of a true leader can transcend even the darkest of times. Gap 2S. Join us next time as we delve deeper into the life and impact of Joan of Arc, uncovering the layers of her extraordinary story. Gap 2S, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more historical insights. Gap 2S. Until next time, keep exploring the past to understand our present. Don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe for more mind-blowing discoveries and thrilling adventures into the past.